we were dealing with formwork to concrete pile above ground level. So formwork to concrete pile above ground level, you take the height that is above ground level. This is our height above ground level, this one. We have 350 above ground level. You take this one and then you're going to multiply by the number of piles. So number of piles, we have 3. We also have 5, so it's 3.5. Then we move 12 millimeter diameter HT steel. So when you deal with the 12 millimeter HT steel, this is the table that you're going to use, the columns that you're going to use. HT steel diameter, this one is 12, okay? So what is the length for the HT? Is 21,500. So you just take off, you don't calculate anything. 21,500. Where is this 8 coming from? The 8 is coming from this circle. So you're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You count these circles. As you can see there, they indicated how it is HT. Okay, so you take the length, HT length, you multiply by those circles there, the HT stills, and then you multiply by 3. I get the 21,500. It's for A. Actually, 21,500 is for A. It means for B it's going to be 23,500. You take it off and then you count the circles, which are 8. You multiply by 5. So it's 23,50. You multiply by 8 and then multiply by 5. The last one is the testing of the pulse. I get it now. We have drilled, we have done everything. We now need to test the pulse. So when we test the pulse, it is just a 1 multiplied by 3.5. 1 multiplied by 3, this is dot. 1 multiplied by 3.5. Okay, so let us just do a quick recap. So when we deal with pilings, you think of barking boreholes. Piling, think of boreholes. When they need to drill the water, they will use different kinds of pipes to check where the water is located. So they'll first use a 10-meter long pipe, and then if they do not get the water, they extend to 15 to 20 to 25. They'll be adding a 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 again until they get the water, until they locate the water. So the piling that we are doing today, it is this one. The piling that we are doing is this one. Here it is, we were given, and they said it has under-reaming bottoms. These are under-reaming bottoms. These are under-reaming bottoms. It means if your piling does not have this, it has no under-reaming bottoms, okay? So there are certain things that you will not calculate if it has no under-reaming bottoms, okay? So let us start. We're going to start by establishing the plant on the site and testing the plant on site. So we don't calculate anything here. We're just going to take off and say item. Then we set up the plant at each pile position. As the specification says, at each. So at each, we have a number of 3 and we also have a number of 5 here, the pile again. So there is our table. We're going to use this table. They'll give it to you. So it is 1 multiplied by this 3 and then dot 5. It is not multiplication. It's not 3 times 5. It's 3.5 again. So when you refer to the memos, some memos will just say it is 3 plus 5. So they will indicate more but 8 again. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it's 8. And then yeah, that is how we do it. That is how we set up the plant at each pile position. It is at each, so it means it is at 3 and it is also at 5. They'll set up they'll set up the plant on this pile position. They'll also set up a plant at this pile position. Then we continue. Arc drilling in stable ground for pile 450 to 600, not exceeding 10 meter. This 450 to 600, it is not always constant. You check your table, you refer to your table. The reason here they use 450 to 600, this is what they refer to, this table. The diameter here is 450 to 600. It means they're talking about the pile for A and B, okay? So that is how we do it. And then more, all drilling in stable ground. This stable ground, we got it from the specification. They said it is in stable ground. Then it is not exceeding 10 meters, so you take off that 10 meters, you multiply it by 3.5. So this multiplied by 3.5, get 10,000. This is the 10,000 for your pipe. They're going to test for is the water there available using the 10-meter pipe now. And then this 10 meter is for which pile? It's for the 3 pile. It's also for the pile year 5. Okay. So detour but exceeding 10 meter. It means they started using the 10-meter one, but they did not find water. So now they need to extend by 5. So it is now exceeding 10 meter, but not exceeding 15 meter. So you take the one that it is not exceeding, which is 15 meters. You subtract the one that it is exceeding, which is 10 meters. You will get 5,000. So you take off that 5,000, you multiply by 3 and then dot 5. This 5,000 is for both piles, I guess. So it's 3.5. Then we move detour exceeding 15 meter. It means they also did not get water using the 15 meters. Okay, so it's detour exceeding 15 meter, not exceeding 20 meter. You take the one that is not exceeding, you subtract the one that is exceeding. So it's 20,000 minus 15,000, you get 5,000 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. So this multiplied by 3.5, we get it from the table. I get this 3 and 5. So the 5,000, it's for both piles. Okay, now let us move. We go to exceeding 20 meter, not exceeding 25 meter, which is our last bracket. How do we know that this is our last bracket? We refer to the table. So the table says our length is 21,000 and 22,500. So this length are exceeding 20 meter but not exceeding 25 meter. So that's how we know that it is our last bracket. So it means if maybe B was exceeding 25 meter, it will not be our last bracket. We will still continue. Okay, so it is 21,000. We are going to separate them. Again, the lengths are not the same. So for A, we have 21,000. For B, we have 22,500. So A, you're going to take the length, which is 21,000. Then you subtract 20,000. On the last bracket, you do not take the one that is not exceeding, you subtract the one that it is exceeding. You take the length from the table, you subtract the one that you used previously, which was 20,000 again. So we get 1,000. There is our 1,000. This 1,000 is for it's for the pile 3. Remember, we are doing A. Okay, so A, the 21,000, here is our 21,000. What is this 21,000 for? It is for the pile 3. So it means for B, you're going to take the length, which is 21,500. You subtract the previous that you used, which is 20,000. Again, you'll get 2,500. You take it off. It's for the pile, 5. So you multiply by 5. We now go to the cutaway. When you do with the cutaway, you do the cutaway, you refer to this circle. Second, in diameter, length, we have a width, and then we're going to have our height there. So it is, I've drawn this circle. So it is the length, which is 450, and then the width, which is 450. Remember, this is for A, I get. So the small letter D, we refer to the table and use the small letter D, I get. So it's 450, and then 450. What is our height? It's 21,000. Height, look at this one. The length is our height. From here to there, it's 21,000. This is our 21,000. I get. So second, you're going to multiply by pi, you multiply by quarter, then you multiply by the number of pi. So always it is quarter, then multiplied by pi, multiplied by the length, width, and the height. More to multiply, my pile is 3, is 5, it's 6, okay? So A, it is 3, that's why I multiplied by 3. And then for B, our small letter D was 600, so it means the length is 600, the width is 600, and then the height is 22,500. We get it from the table. Don't forget to multiply by pi, multiply by quarter, then multiply by the number of piles, which is 5. Extra over drilling for under rimming. You take off 1 multiplied by the pile, so it's 3.5. Then extra over drilling for under rimming in hard rock. It is the same as cutaway. However, it differs with the height. So where do we get the height for under rimming in hard rock? We get it from the specification. They told us to allow for 350 excavation in hard rock. That is why the height here is 350. So extra over drilling and under rimming in hard rock is copy and paste of cutaway, but it differs with the height, and the height you get it from the specification. And then 30 MPa concrete in 450 pile. This one is for A. So what is our length there? It is 21,000. We then add with the height that is on top of the NGA. So for concrete, this is how you do it. You take the length, this is our length, and then plus what is above natural ground level, which is 350, that ends here. I get. So you do not add this 100 at the reinforcement. So it's the length, which is 21,000 plus 350. You'll get what is it? 21,000 350. You take it off, you multiply by 3. Why do you multiply by 3? This 21,000 that you used, it was for 3, the pile at 3. Then we move ditto but in 600. This one is for B. I get the piling at B. So it's 22,500 the length. This is our length. It's 22,500 as you can see there. So the concrete, it means from here to there it's to 22,500. You need to add 350 there. And then we get 22,850. You take it off. It was for the pile 5. We move 30 MPa in a large footing. You're going to separate them. It is A, it is B. So you're going to start with the A1, then with the followed by the B1. So the A1, when you calculate the embarking, the concrete in enlarged footing, you just multiply, or you just take off the number of piles. So we have 3, we also have 5. Okay, then the formwork to concrete pile above natural ground level, you take the height above natural ground level, which is 350, you multiply by 3.5. 12 millimeter diameter HT steel. Where do we get it? From this table. We have HT diameter, we have HT length. So 12 millimeter diameter, we have 21,500. Okay, so these are 21,500. You don't calculate anything. Where is this 8 coming from? You count the circles. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you multiply by 8. This 21,500 was for A. So A, the number of piles, we have 3. Then we go to 16 millimeter diameter. The length is 23,500. You just take it off. You multiply by the circles there. You check it at the top. There'll be circles there. So you count those circles. It's multiplied by 8. It's for the pile 5. Testing of piles. You take off 1 multiplied by the number of piles, which is 3 and 5. So if there was another one, it would say dot the other one. Okay. So this is how you do it. Please refer to part 1 if you haven't, because this is part 2.